Hi, this is Michael from Spotlight. I'm going to show you how you can customize your dashboard for the first time. So the first thing I would do would go over here to the settings and go to the brand settings. Here, what we see is all of the brands that were mentioned in the report. So essentially, Spotlight takes all the brands as they are mentioned, but every brand could appear in different ways. So for example, if you look at Nespresso, you can see that Nespresso appears in all kinds of different names. It could be product names, it could be different names for the same brand, different product lines. So essentially what we want to do here, and again, you can choose if you want, if you'd like when Nespresso Expert, for example, appears, if you want that to count towards a mentioning of an Nespresso, then we want it to be regarded as Nespresso. So what we can do here is select all of these Nespresso words or brand names that appeared, and maybe without this one. And then I can go ahead and click Edit Selected, and I can have it appear as Nespresso. I'll change all these to then appear and count towards Nespresso. Now, if you would like, you can actually group the products. If you have different products in your brand, you can actually group them by product or however you'd like to see them. You can also click this button here, Suggest Consolidation, which will now automatically analyze all of the mentioned brands across the report and suggest how you could group them, how you can consolidate them, just to make your life easier. So we can see here that it found all kinds of brand names that could be consolidated under another kind of like a parent brand name. You can go over this and decide if you want to stay with some of these or remove them, or you can just go ahead and just click Consolidate Selected Brands, and it will consolidate it all together. So let me have a quick look here, make sure it kind of looks that it makes sense. And I just click Consolidate, and this is going to do all the heavy lifting for me. So now when we go back over here to the report, you might want to refresh here after consolidating. And you'll see that the number has changed. And it will now have, it'll also take into account brand mentions that were not exactly the way that our brand was written. So Nespresso, we'll find also brand mentions that are not just espresso. Could be Nespresso with something. So now on to more things. We can here set up the competitors that we can see here in the tabs. You can add or remove competitors. For example, you can add say Aldi, or remove it. And this will actually let us see all the data that was collected, or the report, in the eyes and the perspective of that brand that we selected. This could, by the way, be a sub-product or model of our own brand. It doesn't have to be a competitor. And the competitors that are up here, that you choose here, will also be available on the timeline here. So that will actually then enable you to choose them and see how they're doing over time, per topic, prompt, model, etc. Another thing that I want to show you for customization is an option to customize the customer journey stage classification. So our system automatically will try to guess for every prompt what customer journey stage it would be prompted. And if you disagree with the classification, you can just go ahead in here and change the classification by yourself. And that will immediately change the results and the data here. Here in the competitor section, you can configure which brands you would consider a competitor or not. So the system collects all the brands and does not know how to distinguish between competitors and non-competitors. So here you can tell it if you want to remove certain competitors, certain brands from the report, then they'll just be cleared out from the metrics. You won't see them on the dashboard. It won't delete them. It'll just remove them from the reports. At the first time that you run the system, it tries to automatically guess who is not a competitor and it'll put it aside. but you can go ahead and come in here and then fine tune that setting. Folks who have Pro plan, you're able to add your own perception prompts, and you can add them here in bulk, one after the other, and with just a line break between them. And then, for example, I would ask, how does Nespresso compare versus, say, alternatives? I can add the prompt, and then I can also go ahead and tell the AI how I want the response to be scored. I can choose, I can show it or explain to it in free text, natural language, what is a good response or what I would consider a bad response, and it will score according to these. You don't have to fill them both out. You don't even have to fill any of them out. You can just fill out one or none. And if you don't fill out any criteria, the AI will just imagine that he is a brand manager in your brand, and he will score the response according to what he believes that you would want to see. Here in the content tracker, you can add URLs that you want to track. It could be from your own content, but it can also be from other websites. It doesn't have to be your own content. It will autocomplete and suggest links that have already been cited in the report. Or you can go ahead and just click auto add URLs, and this will add all of the links from your domain automatically to the tracker. The last thing I want to show you is here in the report settings. Down here, you can choose if you want to rename the report. That it only affect what you see over here. So this is mostly for accounts that have several reports in their same organization. Then they can go ahead and make a meaningful name for the report just for the sake of your own organization. So I hope that was helpful. Reach out for any questions, team@getspotlight.com.